Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut Craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm so close to 100,000 subscribers, and when I hit that, we are going to do a really awesome giveaway for all of you guys who have subscribed to my channel. And make sure you ring that little bell notification because that will let you know when I post a new video. It's totally free to subscribe, and it would mean the world to me to have you part of my crafty family. In today's video, we are going to check out the brand new Cricut Foil tool. This tool is awesome. It's a foil transfer kit. All you need is this box to start your foiling adventure. This comes with everything that you need. It includes the housing and the interchangeable tips, and it comes with 3 tips: fine point, medium point, and a bold tip. And then it also comes with some foil and tape to get started with. A quick tip though, the Cricut tape is pretty sticky, so I recommend using just plain old masking tape that you can get at Walmart, Target, hardware stores, anything like that. The masking tape worked a lot better in my trials than their tape. It was just a little bit too sticky. But everything you need comes in this box. Current price point is $39.99 for this box. And again, it comes with everything that you need. I'm going to show you guys how to do one of the design space options for the foiling kit. And we'll do other tutorials a little bit later on that show you how to use designs that are not from Design Space. But today, just so you guys can get used to using the machine with the new tool, we're going to use one that they already have. This one includes the envelope and the card, and it's really, really fun to do. Let's go over to Design Space so I can show you guys how Design Space has everything set up, and it's really easy. The Cricut Foil tool. It's important to remember that this can only be used with your desktop system. So computer, Mac, things like that. You cannot use them with the app, so anything on your iPhone, your iPad, your Chromebooks, none of those can use your foil tool, so you have to be on a desktop version. Now, Cricut has added quite a few really cute foil things, so we're going to actually use one of their designs right now while we get used to the tool and start to learn how to use it. But once we start to learn how to use it, we will definitely do some more tutorials using some other designs and ways to do it. But what we're going to do is go into projects. And because it's a brand new tool, all the foil projects are right here, right at the front, right on the top. But once they move, you should be able to just search foil and find them. We're going to make this really cute Thinking of You card because I thought this was really fun because you both make the card and the envelope. So I think that's really fun. So we'll do this one. It is included with Design Space Access. Once it's pulled up, just click on Customize and it will put it into your canvas. You shouldn't have to do anything as far as resizing or anything like that. That's one of the nice things about using the Cricut designs. They are ready to go. And here's something I absolutely love that they did. We don't have to try to line everything up. It's going to do everything for us. So pick out what color you want your card and what color you want your envelope. You can do anything that you want. And you can also use different colors for the writing, for the foil. You can do anything that you want with this. But keep in mind, anything you do as far as the card, I would use a lighter color. That way you can see the writing really well. So what I'm going to do is click the word Make It. And I'm going to show you. So if you'll notice over here on the left-hand side where it shows your mats, it tells you everything that it's going to do with the one mat. So it's going to score, draw, and foil, which you'll need the fine point for. And then for your envelope, it's going to score and foil. There's no writing on that one, so you don't have to worry about that. Now with this one, again, we're just going to pick a lighter color cardstock, and I'll do a darker color for our envelope. So what we're going to do is click Continue. And it's going to load your machine. Again, remember, this is only good with your Cricut Explorer and your Maker. You can't use this in the Joy. So you want to choose whatever kind of material you are using. I'm going to use like a medium cardstock, but you'll see that it's not an option right here. So what you can do is go to Browse All Materials, and it's going to show you everything that is compatible with the foil tool. For whatever reason, medium cardstock isn't an option. But the light cardstock setting didn't cut enough for me when I tested this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do heavy cardstock with less pressure because it is a medium cardstock. So I'm going to choose heavy cardstock, and then where it has pressure, I'm going to choose the less option. And here it tells you all the tools. that you'll need to load right now. So you're going to need to load the black pen, which you can, again, use any kind of pen that you want to use. You're going to need to use the scoring wheel. This one does call for the double scoring wheel. I don't have that one. So what I'm going to do is edit tools and just change this to the single scoring wheel. Go ahead and click apply. You can absolutely just use the scoring stylus as well. If you just have that, again, just click edit tools and select the stylus. But again, I only have the single scoring wheel, so we'll just use that. It's fine. And then it's going to tell you the different things that are coming up. So you're going to need to use gold foil, a foil transfer tool with the fine tip, and then a fine point blade. Again, you can use any color foil that you want. We're not going to use gold. I don't have any gold, and I don't really like gold. So we're going to go ahead over to the machine, and I'm going to show you guys how to set up the machine to start cutting all of this. So we have to do a couple things first before we can go into loading the mat. So this is your pen holder. This is a set A. So what I'm going to do is I have this off-brand pen. I do tend to check them before I put them in the machine just to make sure that they write. I did check this one. So what you're going to do is go ahead and insert your pen, and you'll push your finger to the bottom of the housing and the thumb on top and just push till it clicks, and you should hear it click. Then you want to close the housing. I always take my pen cap and put it right back on top. Now we have to use one other tool. So I have this cool tool holder. This has been a lifesaver. All my tools are in one spot, and I'm able to easily find the tool that I need. So I have the rotary blade, the knife blade, the quick swap housing, and then this is another quick swap housing. But I need this quick swap housing, and I need a double or my single scoring wheel. I don't have a double. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pop this off. And you'll see that your tools have little numbers on them, and they're not always the easiest to see through the little plastic. I'm going to see if I can get you one that has easy to see, because this is the one we need. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's really small. Do you see that 01? That's how you know for sure which tool you're using. So 01 is the single scoring wheel. There's a bunch of different graphics and stuff, and I'll put those on my website for you guys that show you what tool you need and what number it is. So we're going to go ahead and insert this, and all you have to do is line it up. I push the button, let go, and I always just make sure it's secure. Then what we'll do is we'll take out our fine point blade. I'm going to set that into my tool holder so I don't lose it. And then you'll see there's a gold gear and a plastic case. Take the gold gear and line up the open part of the plastic to the gold gear that's in the machine, and you're good to go. Now we're going to use white cardstock. Again, this is like a medium, so I set it to that heavy cardstock with the lighter setting. And I'm just going to put this on a blue cardstock mat. And I put mine lengthwise, so I make it longer than I do taller because I'm not using 12 by 12 paper. And we'll go ahead and load it. Now I have moved my star wheels over to the side already. That's important. This foil is pressure sensitive, so with those star wheels, it's going to leave little marks on your design. So just make sure you move these over to the side. Go ahead and click the Cricut button. We'll watch this score and draw. Now that you're done with the drawing and the scoring portion, it's going to tell you to change your item. Now, it does say do not unload the mat. This is super important. If you unload, it's going to be off kilter and off center, so you don't want to do that. So it's telling you what you need. You need to load the foil transfer tool, which is fine tip, which has one line. Tape the gold foil onto your base material, and then press the go button. We're going to go over to the machine so I can show you guys how to do that. I'm going to give you a couple tips on taping down your foil. Now what we're going to do is remove our pen. We don't need that anymore, and it's important to take it out. You can just pop that right out. And you want to make sure you replace the cap right away. You don't want them to dry out. And we no longer need that, so you can close it. Next thing we have to do is to open up our B clamp here and take out the scoring blade. I'm going to just go ahead and put that right back into my holder. And now we're going to use the foil tool. So this is actually a two-part tool. It comes with 3 tips and the housing. This tip has one single line on it, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it because it's really small. But there is one single line. That is your fine point. And it does tell you on the screen however many lines the tool will have. So all you do is, just like a blade, you just insert it into the hole. It is magnetic. And then you can just push the plunger down to see, but it's in there. And that's how you take it out. You just push that little plunger on the top down and pull it out. So that is in there. So now you just load it just like you would any other housing and go ahead and clamp that in. Now we have to put down our foil. You do get a package of silver foil with your foil tool, but just be warned. So this part is sticky right here, and when pulling your foil out, your foil wants to stick to it. So rather than deal with that, just fold it over, and you just won't be able to really close it again, but just fold that over so your foil doesn't stick to it, and then just pull out a piece of foil. Now, I will say this part is super annoying because they all want to come out. They're very staticky. They like to stick to each other. It is what it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and carefully tuck those back in. Now, you'll note I'm not going to use the tape that came with this. That tape is too sticky. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Now, there's two sides to your foil. There's a really, really shiny side and then a much duller side. You want to tape it shiny side up, and we're going to tape it right over our thinking of you part. Now, I will say, try to note where you need to put your foil on these before you start doing these crafts, because you can't look at it once it's on the next screen. It doesn't let you see it. So what you're going to do is grab some masking tape, and just plain old masking tape. And I do like to stick it to my fingers a little bit before I put it down. That way it's just a little less sticky, but the stuff they sent is horribly sticky. And all I'm going to do, and this is going to be kind of awkward because I'm trying to... And all we're going to do is take this tape right here and tape it to the top of our foil. And just perfectly just set it down. This is pretty easy, but you do want to make sure that your foil is sitting as flat as possible. So all I'm going to do is rip another slightly longer piece and tape it down. If it has a little bit of a crinkle in it, it's all right, but the flatter you can get it, the better. Now, I like to make sure that it's taped all the way around. Some people just tape like the edge. I'm not about that. I like to really make sure that the foil is well down. The couple tests that I did, it worked a lot better if I had all of the edges taped down. So it just works a little bit better. But again, if you have a little bit of a crinkle in it, don't worry. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's totally fine. But again, I just take the tape and de-stick it a little bit. You could stick it to your shirt or pants or whatever if you can. And we'll just lay that down. That just helps de-stick it a bit. Now we have our foil tool in and the foil laid down. So we are ready to hit the go button again. Now it's time to remove the foil. I am going to be honest, I don't know if I lined this up fully correctly. I think we might not have a little bit of foil over here, but that's okay. It's fine. It's no big deal. Like I said, you want to peel this off pretty slow. You don't want to rip your cardstock. I'm more so always worried about my cardstock, less the foil. If you rip the foil, it's okay. But you do want to be really careful with your cardstock. And if your foil starts to come up, that's okay. You can pull it up with your masking tape if it starts to pull up on its own. But again, just go really slow getting off the masking tape. Because sometimes all the tape can be a little bit heavy. And you can see right here where it kind of like is pulling up a little bit of the paper, but it's alright. It's not a big deal. You can't really tell. But again, just go slow. I'm going to get all of this peeled off, and actually some of that looks like it's more adhesive, so that's okay. We can pull that off. And you can see that it didn't fully foil around the edge because I didn't line it up right, but that's okay. It's no big deal. It is absolutely perfectly fine. Not going to be the end of the world. But that is one thing I wish Cricut would do. They would let you look at it to make sure you see where the foil has to go, because I did forget that it goes around the design. But that's okay. I think it still looks pretty good. And honestly, since it's just around two sides, it looks fine. So now what we need to do is take out our foil tool. Go ahead and place that in your tool holder and put in your fine point blade. Just put that back in. Go ahead and click the go button, and it's going to cut out the card. And now we're done foiling. So it's going to give us the directions that we want. We want to remove the foil, load our fine point blade, and then hit the go button. So let's go do that. Now we can go ahead and remove our mat because we're done doing the white portion of the card. And you can see how pretty and sparkly that is. Isn't that gorgeous? We'll get a good look at everything once we're done, but we're going to go ahead and take our card off our mat. So I'm going to pull the background off first, and then what I'm going to do is go ahead and flip my mat over, so face down onto the table. And you can see that I'm rolling my mat away from my card. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this so that it doesn't bend my card, and just continue to roll your mat away. And there is our card all cut out. Now we need to load our envelope paper in, because that's going to be our next task. Now it's time to do our envelope. So you can see that we don't require a tool in clamp A, but it wants us to load our single scoring wheel into clamp B, and that's going to put our score lines on, and then next we'll get to do the foil, and then we will cut. We're required to do another tool change. That's the only downfall to these types of things, is constantly changing out your tools, but we'll go ahead and do that. So now we got to put our scoring wheel back in. So that's the one with the gold gear on the top, number 1. Go ahead and load that. And we'll go ahead and put in our cardstock. I'm just using a really cool light blue. Thought that would be pretty to kind of go with the teal color that I chose for the writing. So let's go ahead and score our envelope. Now we're ready to load our foil transfer tool and apply our foil. For this one, it's a little easier to tell where your foil needs to go because you can see it down here in the shadow, but I wish they would allow you to really see where your foil needs to go somehow, because it can be a little hard to line it up. So for this one, it looks like we need to be between the 8 and a little below the 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 squares. So let's go ahead and get our foil applied. So this is our cardstock that we need to do, and we need to be between about the 8 and the 10, and then over about to the 5. So we're going to put our foil right around this area right here. I just cut a piece from another sheet that I had used for some testing, so it's a little bit big, but I'd rather it be too big than not big enough. So again, masking tape, and we'll go ahead and tape it down. And back to another tool change. So remove your scoring wheel and replace it with your foiling tool, which is kind of that like cobalty blue color. Go ahead and load that mat. Again, between these tools we don't unload, so you can go ahead and take off your tape. Again, going slow, you want to be careful not to mess up your paper, but this really shouldn't. It's pretty easy to do. And the good thing is, if you take this off really carefully, you can absolutely save some of this foil, because you can see we only used a little bit, and you can reuse these on other projects. So that's kind of nice, because like I said, I cut this off of a piece that I used for some tests, and it was fine to just cut the little edge that I didn't use, and then I was able to use it for this project. So we'll trim this down once we pull it off. And I think this looks really, really pretty. I don't know how you guys really can't see it, but it's really pretty against this blue. It's just very subtle and very, very pretty. So now what we'll do is change our tool again. And now for our last tool change, go ahead and open B, take out your foil tool, and again, replace it with your fine point blade. Like I said, the only problem with these projects is so many tool changes. We'll go ahead and get our envelope cut. We are done cutting the envelope, so we can go ahead and remove that from the machine. And now we can remove the envelope from the mat. So what I do again is I just take the background off, so this bigger piece, and I will save, if I have some big pieces of cardstock left over, I'll save some of these larger pieces. And we'll do the same thing where we're going to go ahead and flip our mat over and kind of roll it backwards and pull the cardstock off that way. That way it doesn't get any kind of wrinkles in it. Now we're ready to fold along our score line. So we'll start with our card here, and all you have to do is just simply fold. You can use a bone folder or pretty much anything. I'll sometimes use just like a pair of scissors and just go along the edge here. I do have a bone folder, but if you don't, this is a great thing you can do. Just gently go along the edge and get that nice crisp fold. And you have a nice crisp fold on your card, and look how pretty. Hopefully you guys can see. Oh, there we go. Now you can see how shiny that is. Isn't that shiny? It's so pretty. This came out really, really, really nice. I'm really happy with it, and I think it looks really pretty. And then you can write your own little note on the inside. So then we have to do our envelope. So I'll show you guys where it foiled. There's where it foiled. And I feel like you really can't see it super far away, but up close it's very, very shiny, very pretty. So now what you do is you take and you can fold along your score lines. It doesn't matter which way you fold right now. I'm going to go ahead and fold the bottom first because we'll glue it all together and it'll be fine. Whichever way you do this. You can either fold it with the bottom part out like that, or you can fold it like with the bottom part in. It's all personal preference. I typically will do it with the bottom part out just because it's a little easier to insert your card that way. So we'll just go ahead and make sure that's folded. And then I'm just going to take my scissors again and just run them along these fold lines just to get nice crisp lines. If you're using scissors, you do want to be careful because you could potentially rip your paper. But we'll just do this to get nice crisp fold lines. And this one's got a little funky corner over here, so I'm just going to kind of press it down instead of running it. It's got something going on in that corner. I didn't fold it quite right. So there we go. There is that. And then the envelope flap right here will fold down just along that score line. I'm not going to give that one a real tight fold right now, but there's that. There's the envelope. And there's your card. So what you're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue here and here and glue this down. Since I won't be mailing this, I don't need to really use a super strong glue, but this glue is great. This is the Craft Bond by Elmer's, and it's a dual tip, so you have like a really small precision tip here, and then you also have this tip, which is like a spongy tip, but you can squeeze the glue out that side. So we're going to use our precision tip for this one. And all we're going to do is just run a little bit of glue right along here, right along this edge. And I haven't used this glue in a little bit, so it might be a little dry on the tip, but we're good. I just run a little bit of glue, and I kind of spread it out a little bit. You don't want to get any glue on the inside of your card because you don't want to get it so you can't close it. But again, I'm not mailing this, so I don't need to be quite as cautious with the glue that I use, but definitely want to use something that'll stick. And this really does work pretty well. So I'm just going to run the glue right there. Then all I'm going to do is fold my top flap down here, or my bottom flap, and then I'm just going to use this, because it's what's sitting here, and hold that down for a little while and let the glue dry. After that, we can insert after that, we can put our card in there, and it's good to go. You can use a little sticker or glue if you want to glue your envelope down. And then all you need to do is write your special message inside of your card, and it's good to go, ready to head off to your friends. I really love the way that this came out. This foil tool is a really fun tool. I really like how it works. I think that they have a lot of really cool options with this, and I can't wait to make more things with it. Once I get more used to using it, I am definitely going to show you guys how to make some of your own designs, but this is just a way that you guys can use it, and I wanted to show you how Cricut has it all set up. Again, make sure you're paying attention to where your foil goes, because like me, you may end up without part of your card, but I think it looks okay even without that. This came out really, really cute, and you can see how shiny it is. It's very, very pretty. I'll get you guys really close to these words because you can see, do you see how it's like multiple lines to create how thick that font is? That's really cool, and I just think it's really nice. You guys can see how even it is. It's got really, really good coverage. The little wine glasses and the bottle came out really, really nice on this. And let me show you guys the wine bottle and glasses on the envelope really, really close. The detail is fantastic with this tool. I used all the different sizes when I was testing, and they all worked really, really well, and all in different ways. So I think that was really fun. And I just think it's going to be a really great way to add a little extra something to your designs. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting.